Okay. Vita.
Morning. You already know it is the big boss how boss dog K poke through the dope. Hit the top this box. It was good with you. Before I get in my soliloquy, how y'all doing? You know what I mean? Y'all know me, I gotta do a mental health check on y'all, you know what I'm saying? Make sure your mental is right, you know what I'm saying? Remember, tough times don't last, but good people do. You know what I mean? I'm always praying for y'all, you know what I mean? And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, man. I really do be praying for y'all, man, because a lot of people go through a lot of things, man. You know, especially as men, man, we go through a lot of things in silence, bro. You know what I'm saying? So talk to whoever you need to talk to, you know what I'm saying? You know, I just had the reason why I'm doing this because, you know, I saw a lady jump off a building, bro. It's all right. For me, it's just like I gotta make sure all y'all good. You know what I'm saying? You never know what nobody going through. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure y'all straight. You know. So that's what I'm gonna start doing now in the beginning of my videos. A mental health check. You know what I'm saying? I want all y'all to be good. You know what I'm saying? You know. But boss here, man. If you need to talk, man, for real. I mean that. But let's get to the soliloquy of the video. Errol Spence to retire. Let's talk about it. So, I'm hearing some things, the Bud Booty Warriors talking about he need to retire and all this other stuff. And Errol Spence responded and said, man, you can throw that in the trash, basically. Y'all know me, man. I'm a summarizer. I say stuff in my own way. But he's basically saying I'm not retiring. Like, I don't know where this coming from. You kill that. You know what I mean? And I told y'all, man, that man don't need to retire, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like the Bud Buddies want that because they want that for Terrence Crawford. Just like they tried to throw Sean Porter in there with that, Terrence Crawford retired Sean Porter. Which we know that's cap. You know what I mean? I know what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? He retired right after he fought Terrence Crawford. He ain't fought nobody else. Terrence Crawford put so much of a beating on him that he retired. That's what y'all want. And that's not the case. The man was already thinking about getting outside the game anyway. He said he had arthritis in his hips. He wasn't able to do certain things that he normally could do. You know what I mean? And he pretty much explained that, after the fight with Terrence Crawford. He was like, man, there's certain things that I just didn't want to do. And that I normally could do, but I didn't do it. You know what I mean? But this whole thing about Errol Spence retiring, bro, like, I told you, that man ain't retiring. He still got a lot left in his career. You know what I'm saying? I can say this, he got a longer career than Terrence Crawford did, right? He got more of a ceiling than Terrence Crawford did. See, Terrence Crawford's at the wit's end of his career. That's why Crawford trying to hurry up and get these big fights in. You know what I mean? That's why he trying to, he tried to finagle let me say this. We're going to keep it 1,000. But he tried to finagle on out of that Errol Spence fight. You know what I mean? When Terrence Crawford team came out and said, man, we really don't want to fight Errol Spence. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Which that's something that shouldn't have been said, bro. You know what I mean? Be a man, stand on your 10. Be like, bet, hey, when we're going to fight Errol, get that out the way, and then we can go fight whoever. You know what I mean? Now, Terrence didn't say that, but his right-hand man, Steve Nelson, said that. You know what I mean? So, and Terrence didn't come out and say, hey, bro, nah, that's not what I said. You know what I mean? So, they both had to agree on that. You know what I'm saying? That's how Crawford is thinking. He feel like, man, and I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know Boss. Boss keep it 1,000. After the fight, I was saying the same thing. Like, man, I don't need to see nothing. I don't need to see a rematch. But then I start thinking about it. I'm like, man, it's too many, like, ifs and mips and blips you know what I'm saying, after the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's too much of that. So let's run it back. You know what I mean? Errol Spence had a bad day at the office. He didn't deliver. Terrence Crawford delivered. Errol Spence didn't deliver. So now, this second fight, we'll get to see if Errol delivers. If Errol don't deliver, then hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. You know? And like I said, that'll be okay. If Errol Spence was to lose to Terrence Crawford a second time, that'll be okay. You know what I mean? At least this man out here taking that risk. You know what I'm saying? Something a lot of fighters ain't doing. You know? That's cool. He taking a risk. He risking, you know what I mean? He already lost his O. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't got nothing to lose at this point. You know? He done got that out of his system. Sometimes losing is the best thing that happened to you. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes losing is the best thing that happened to you. I remember, it wasn't everybody, but when Jermell Charlo lost to Tony Harrison the first time, and Jermell Charlo wanted to rematch Tony Harrison, it was a couple of people that was like, man, Tony Harrison gonna beat Jermell Charlo again. Now, granted, Jermell Charlo didn't get stopped. You know what I mean? It was a close fight, but it went Tony Harrison way. You know what I'm saying? But it was a lot of people that was like, oh, Jermell Charlo gonna get beat worse. And Jermell Charlo came back in the second fight with all that obstacle. Because let me tell you, you coming back from you fighting a fighter again that you lost to, that's tough. You know what I'm saying? Tough hurdle to come over. Man, he came back and knocked that boy out. So it can be done. You know what I'm saying? Errol could possibly beat Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? You know? It's possible. It's boxing. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You got to understand, like, at the end of the day, it's boxing. You know what I mean? It's a sport where anything can happen, right? Just because a fighter has a certain better skill set than this fighter, don't mean that fighter is, you know, guaranteed a win. Oh, this fighter do this better. It's all about executing game plans. Who has the better game plan on that night? That's it. And who can execute it better? That's it, right? So, like I said, I haven't picked a winner in that second fight, but I'm just telling you, it's still a win for Errol Spence because he risking, you know what I'm saying? He putting his stuff on the line. He like, shit, I ain't got nothing to lose. I already lost. I got my O gone. I got a blemish on my record. So now, you know, I can relax. You know? The only pressure Errol Spence is dealing with is putting on a better performance. That's it. Other than that, he ain't got that pressure of I'm undefeated, he undefeated. It's just, he could just let his hair down, you know, like they say, the analogy, and go and go for what he know. Go for broke. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. But retiring thing, nah. Errol Spence got a lot of big fights out there left. You know, especially at 54. He got Tim Tszyu. He could fight that fight. He got Eric Lubin. That's a shit. Let me tell you something. Nah. Eric Lubin, as a fighter, you know, I really respect that boy, man. You know what I'm saying? He another one that's a dog. That's off the leash with it. You know what I'm saying? He another one that's going to get to it. You know, and that's what I respect about Eric Lubin. Eric Lubin ain't trying to do nothing cute. He ain't trying to get no handouts. He getting it out the muscle. You know what I mean? He a real fighter. And that's what I got a lot of respect for Errol Spence. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do. Cause he keep ending up in these situations. You know what I mean? He'll take a loss, come back. Now he back in the situation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he I think he in a running for that WBC belt again, if I ain't mistaken. So you got to think about it. He in the running for that WBC belt. You know, which Charlo has at this point. You know, he could potentially be fighting for it. You know what I'm saying? But that's another fight for Errol Spence. It's a lot of big fights at 154 for that man. You know what I'm saying? You know, if Charlo move up, he can become undisputed up there. You know what I'm saying? So, Errol Spence got a good 4 or 5 years left in boxing. You know what I mean? Based off his fighting style, he got a good 4 or 5 years left. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what I think for his career. It's not time for him to retire. I know y'all buddies, y'all want him to retire because y'all want that, you know, affiliated with Terrence Crawford, so y'all can say, yeah, Terrence Crawford retired Errol Spence. Yeah, it's like, bro, that's it's not happening, bro. You know what I mean? Errol gonna come back, and he gonna be back. If he fight Terrence Crawford and he lose again, in my book, he still gonna get my respect. You know what I mean? Like I told you, man, the boy different. He a dog, man. That's one thing. All that stuff, you can't say the man soft. You know what I mean? He a dog, bro. You know what I mean? He go down swinging. That's just what it is. He gonna go out on his shield. He ain't running from no smoke. He ain't gun shy. He gonna ain't no safety on his Glock. He gonna let it go. You know what I mean? That's one thing I can say about him. And if he go down again, hey, it is what it is. Boxing. You know what I mean? Many of the greats of the past that went down in the sport of boxing. But when you start talking like that, oh man, see, man. No, we talking about we talk about real boxing. You know what I'm saying? And like I told y'all, Errol is a true epitome of a throwback fighter. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to just fighting anybody, that man will fight anybody. He don't care. You know what I mean? He's a throwback fighter. You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford is a throwback fighter in the sense of how he trains, but he politics. You know, when he on top. See, when he wants something, it's Terrence Crawford to me reminds me of like a little kid that when it don't get his way, he mad. But when he get his way and he at the top, oh man, you can't touch him. You know what I'm saying? That's what Crawford reminds me of. It's like, oh, my way. Mine, my way, mine. He at the top, I'm not fighting him. But when he wants something, I want that. Me. You know what I'm saying? And then he makes excuses on why he couldn't get it. He blame everybody else. No, blame yourself, cuz. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it 1,000. But that boy Errol ain't retired, bro. You know what I mean? Like I said, he got a lot left in his career. If he loses to Terrence Crawford for a second time, hey, man, many of the greats that went out, you know what I mean, they done lost. And there's some fighters that's just going to have your number. You know, it is what it is. He's still a great in the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. Nobody was doing what he was doing. Now, would I say a lot of it was smart what he was doing? No. Taking those long layoffs and coming back and fighting top fights? Nah. You know what I mean? I won't say that was smart for him. You know what I'm saying? But he a dog for doing it. You know what I mean? That just is what it is. He believed in his skills enough to where he was like, I don't care, you know, what it is. I'm going to fight the best. But Errol Spence ain't done, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Boss go.